Your decisions determine your destiny. While buying a bicycle today for my 10-year-old daughter, I realized something really powerful, and today's episode just might be the best I've ever recorded. I know you're going to love it.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of greatness class with your host, Trevor Crane, my daddy. He is going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
You're supposed to make me sound cool.
All right, guys, welcome back. Today I was at Walmart, of all places, buying a bicycle for my 10-year-old daughter, and it was crazy the process of what happened. So we were there for 3 freaking hours to buy a bicycle. And see, I gave my daughter the option to pick out any bike she wanted. And so we started off with kids' bikes. She's about to turn 11. So we were looking at these 22-inch bikes, and we went up to the 24-inch bikes. And the thing is that my daughter hates to shop, which is kind of a good thing. You know, I've got a woman. That's not that bad. But what's crazy is that she just says, like, oh, Daddy, I'll just take that one. And it was fine. Like, that bike was really cute. It was a nice, cute little kid's bike. It had these little streamers. You can imagine that, like, going off of the handlebars. And it was kind of like pink and blue. And that's what she's kind of bought in the past, you know, when she was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. And we've had those bikes in the past. And I was just looking at her. She's almost 11. And I'm just not thinking that that's actually the bike she wanted. What I noticed was that she was just willing to settle and take that bike. And so we looked through some more bikes, and I had her like kind of ride some of them around, and she was scared. She like didn't want to do it. Like she's, you know, for a little while it was fun, but then she just kind of bailed out. And then I found her like this cute little blue bike, and blue or light blue or teal or whatever is kind of her favorite color now. And so she said, Daddy, that's my bike. And it was a step up, and she was definitely liking it. And it wasn't all girly or just like little kid-ish. She actually was really happy with it. But I wanted her to look at all the bikes because she actually has absolutely no idea. She knows nothing about bikes. We live in a neighborhood where she's going to ride to the neighbor's house, you know, a few minutes away. It's not really a big deal. It's not like she's going mountain bike riding, but she has absolutely no awareness of what even the options are. You know, she's getting to this stage where she can start to do shifting bikes, and they have, you know, controls and brakes on the hands and stuff like that. And so I wanted to invest a little bit more time with her. And the thing is that it was kind of annoying as hell because here I am trying to give my daughter this really cool gift. I wish when I grew up, my parents would let me go pick out any freaking bike I wanted. That was not the situation. But now I'm doing this for my daughter, and I realized how often we do this, we humans, we crazy humans, where we are willing to settle. And when we really it's just like it's what's in front of us. And it could be we're settling in our relationship. It could be we're settling for our job. It could be we're settling if we're in college and we settle. We want to just pick something, and we're not really willing to do whatever it takes, to do what's necessary, to even give an educated guess, to use our wisdom to make sure that we're choosing what's right for us. So my question for you today is, in what area of your life are you settling? And see, the thing is my daughter and I got into this big argument. And it wasn't a big argument, but you know, I had to like shut her down. I'm like, honey, you got to stop being a little, you know, spoiled brat here. Maybe there's another bike. And so we went and we found a second bike that she really liked. And she was like, well, it looks really good, but it's a little bit too big, Daddy. And the seat isn't good. Is too high. And so I lowered the seat. And then the seat wasn't low enough, and so I needed to go ahead and lower it. And I needed a little tool because I couldn't adjust the seat, and she didn't want to bother. And I'm like, no. And so I walked around the store until I could find a little screwdriver or Allen key set to go ahead and lower the seat. And she was so flustered and wanted to, Daddy, I'll just take the first bike. I don't care. But here's what happened. She was a little awkward on the bike. Oh, and then what I did is I took her outside. I said, hey, honey, let's go ahead and you can ride this bike in the parking lot or in the the outside garden section. And she finally did it. And she said, Daddy, hold on. I love this bike. I really wanted it. I wanted it more than the first one, but I just thought maybe I'm not big enough for it yet. And so then I'm like, great. So she test rode both bikes. I was really excited. And I said, honey, there was one more row of bikes. You want to look at them? And she said, no. She was willing to settle for that bike, and she's going to be very happy with it, I have no doubt. But see, this was like a beach cruiser type of bike. Imagine like a powder blue beach cruiser with a yellow basket up front. And she was like, that's what I want. And I was just mad. And it didn't really feel like it was her bike. And I wanted to give her a chance to go ahead and just make sure she saw what all options were. So here's what happened in the end. My daughter and I go ahead and find a third bike. She test drives this bike. It's the last one on the rack, the last one that we find. And this is the bike for her. This is the one that she absolutely loves. It can shift gears. It looks like one of the beach cruisers. It's awesome. It's got handbrakes. We bought a basket to go on the front of it. It's got everything. And so she finally found what she wanted after she had the patience to go ahead and look at all of her options. So again, I'm going to pose this question to you. Where in your life are you settling? Are you currently settling? Is it your body, being, balance, or business? Is it personal or professional? And then I want you to go ahead and do something massive today to go ahead and make a difference in this area in your life. Because here's the thing I have decided in my life, that I want to make an educated decision about what I want. I want to make sure that I want the freaking thing. Because I don't want crap. And too often, we humans will do this. So my question for you again is, where are you settling? Pick something. Where are you settling for good enough? Is it in your, I love my, the Warrior program I'm in with Garrett J. White, and he talks about body, being, balance, or business. Where are you settling for good enough? Because most people settle for good enough instead of exercising the patience necessary to choose what they really want. So my advice to you is to choose wisely. And my challenge to you today is to make sure that you take some massive action to improve this area of your life. Like, once you identify where it is that you're settling, then what are you going to do today? Not tomorrow, not the next day, but what are you going to do today? You're going to write in your journal, you're going to call someone, you're going to do something. Like, I am about to go on a jog. I'm walking around my neighborhood right now. I wanted to record this episode real quick before I go on my jog with my dog. What are you going to do? What's the massive action that you're going to take today? That's part one. Part two is, are you going to write that in your success journal? That might be what it's going to be. Are you going to, I would ask you to define this clearly. Like, if you were to go ahead and if you were living this part of your life in total excellence instead of settling, what would it look like? Be crystal clear. Tony Robbins asked me to do this one time when I was at a seminar, and I pulled out my journal and I did this, and I wrote down the relationship that I wanted to be in, and I wrote down the ideal woman that I wanted to have in my life. And then he asked me a follow-up question. I'm going to ask you this follow-up question, which is, who do you need to become in order to make this a reality? Say that again. Who do you need to become in order to make this a reality? Now, when Tony asked me this question, he said, who do you need to become to be able to attract and keep this woman? And the truth was, I was not demonstrating the characteristics that would attract nor keep that woman in my life. But eventually when she showed up, and I think I've shared that story with you before, I actually met my wife-to-be, when I had just come out of the worst time of my life, when I had filed a big old bankruptcy, and I was feeling at the lowest of the low. But here's what happened when we were dating. I went back and I looked at my journal, that I had written years before, and this woman was that girl that I had created in my journal that day. So my challenge for you today, again, is to, what are you going to do to make progress in this area of your life if you've identified where it is that you're settling, and then be clear in your journal, in your success journal, about what life would look like if you're living this part of your life in excellence instead of settling. Who do you need to become in order to make this a reality? And the last part here is, what are you going to do? And who are you going to be accountable to? Because, I find that a mentor in my life is what I need. I'm part of 2 mastermind groups right now that I pay a lot of money to be in, so I can hold myself accountable to the things that I say I'm going to do. And then I lead 2 mastermind groups, one for books and one for business. And I help people with that stuff because we need coaches and mentors around us that are helping us take our lives to the next level. Okay, so that's it for today. Go do this. Answer these questions. Do your homework. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow on our next episode of Greatness Quest.
To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.